up, y'all? This your girl Alice Sage with Rise With Me. And I'm grateful for each and every last one of y'all. I'm not one for long intro, so I'm going to go ahead and get into this. But just know that every last one of y'all, I am very grateful to the Most High for you. Alright. These are the cards that came out. King of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Well, what the Divine told me is that the majority of you, whether masculine or feminine energy, you pretty much, and you are a divine being, you are the emperor or the empress within your own right. Well, anyway, the Divine told me that y'all have taken on this masculine energy and you're sitting there on your throne in the King of Swords energy. Now, you have that sword raised and across your chest. So you're gonna be honest. You're honest. You're not operating from a egoic stance. You are operating from a stance of what is true. You are operating from a stance of what is karmically righteous. But you have one foot planted solid on the ground, and you have that other foot at a position where if you need to get up, you can pounce. I'm hearing you can pounce into action. Well, this King of Swords, you can tell that this King of Swords has been through much. But I don't know if you can see right here. This King of Swords is surrounded by the Most High. This King of Swords, who is the Emperor or the Empress, is just the energy that they're in now. This King of Swords is surrounded by their ancestors that are of their highest good, their way showers, their guides, the Most High. This individual knows that they are royalty. This individual is led by their intuition. They are led, they are divinely guided and led, I just heard. Well, this individual is reflecting on the past. How they were in those stormy waters because someone else was juggling them. And I'm hearing that it was their divine counterpart was juggling them, trying to keep this individual stuck while they juggled back and forth who they were going to be with, how was they going to get away from another situation and get with this King of Swords. Or it could have been, how long am I going to be able to juggle this individual, this emperor or this empress, before they become unstuck and discover who they truly are. Because that individual, your divine counterpart, and in some cases your karmic, but I'm hearing your divine counterpart, kept you burdened down so that they could keep you stuck and continue to juggle you until they got tired of what they was doing. Now that's just what I'm hearing. And everything that I am saying is true. Now yes, this is in reverse. Definitely is. But the sword is raised. Did you catch that? So when the sword is raised, you're ready to spring into action and tell what is true. Speak what is true. T-R-U-E. Because it is a fact, not an act. Did you catch that? When the sword is down, the truth is a truth. It's constantly changing. It's not a fact. It's an act. Did you catch that? But this King of Swords stands in what is true. T-R-U-E. Now, their divine counterpart told all kind of lies on this emperor or empress that's in this King of Swords stance. All kind of lies. Turn other people, manipulated, and turn other people against this individual. I'm hearing that it was even people in their life. Friends, so-called friends, which were actually frenemies. Family members, which were so-called. But they went within. They allowed the divine to take them upon a journey. And during that journey, y'all see this red string wrapped around his waist. The divine kept you grounded while the divine took you upon this journey. Now, the divine, your ancestors that's up your highest good, your way shores, your guides, all of them shined a light. You became enlightened. And the more that you became enlightened, the more the divine showed you the snakes that were around you, that were in front of you. Because you always need to know who the snakes are in your life. So when you have to call upon that snake, who you know is attracted to rats, they can handle it. You ain't got to do nothing. Nothing. Nothing but pray. You ain't got to call upon that individual yourself. You call upon the Most High because you know that the Most High will handle it and you will not be held responsible to pay back some karma because you went out here and did something in a negative way. I'm just saying. See, it was a lot of them that used witchcraft on you. It was a lot of them that tried to leave you for dead. It was a lot of them. It was a lot of them that I'm hearing called you out. They thought you was out. Strike one, strike two, strike three, you out. Because they was the ones that was sending the strikes at you. They were the ones that was sitting back, throwing rocks and hiding their hands. And I'm hearing that they was boulders. They weren't just little pebbles. They were boulders that these people were sending into your life. Now, they don't know what's going to transpire. They don't know how this karma is going to come back to them. And I'm hearing that some of them's karma already been hitting them, but they didn't realize at the time where it was coming from. I'm hearing that these people tried to bury you. They tried to delay you. They tried to destroy. That's what I'm just hearing. They tried to destroy you. They didn't offer you nothing that was substantial. Nothing at all. They came in as wolves in sheep's clothing. Now they the one that's going through the dark night of the soul. Now they are the one that is crying out to the Most High. Because they came against a divine being. They tried to take from a divine being that had already submitted to the Most High. This individual called judgment by surrendering to the Most High. And this individual has submitted to the Most High their whole life. They have trusted in the Most High. They have trust in the Most High. And when you have trust in the Most High, you cannot be conquered. Yeah. You can stumble, but you ain't gonna fall. And that's what people fail to realize about divine beings. Now, have divine beings always been squeaky clean? Hell no. Because you have to learn. You have to gain information as to why you should not do certain things. To whom much is given, much is required. You got to know both sides of that scale so that you can balance that scale. This individual is no longer heartbroken. This individual is no more standing in their feelings. They go by what they know. They go by what they know that the divine has shown them. See, they had to come out of feelings. Because as long as they was in feelings, they was heartbroken. You see what I'm saying? So they had to come out of feelings. They came out of feelings when they went through that dark night of the soul. Yet this individual has a lot of love because this individual is of love. Sometimes you have to take that queen and that king of swords stance. Make a head over heart decision. See, this individual kept making, oh, somebody don't want this to get out. Woo, all right. This individual always made a heart over head decision because they are empath. They can and do know what other people go through. Now this individual is not allowed to make those heart over head decisions. Now this individual is being called to make a head over heart decision. Because if they don't make a head over heart decision, then them scales will not be balanced. The wheel will not turn in their favor. Because they kept on praying for their enemies instead of allowing the divine to handle it. And the reason they kept praying for their enemies because this individual is an oracle. They see the end state. But this individual is not allowed because this individual was balancing the scales for everyone else and was coming out on the bottom. And this individual knew it. They knew it. This emperor or empress, they knew that they were going to have to bear the burden of those other people's karma. But the more that they bared the other people's karma, the more that those other people took it for granted. And they kept working. They kept throwing. They kept throwing. But they was doing it because the divine was still allowing this divine being to move forward, to remain stable. Y'all saw when I showed y'all that hermit a while ago that had that red rope, that red string tied around. That was because they were anchored to the Most High. Don't nothing happen to a divine being unless the divine allows it, but the divine still gives them strength to carry on. Now we got the sun out here. The sun is in reverse. This individual still praised the Most High even though they were going through. So the divine kept them anchored. No matter what, this individual was grateful to the Most High because the Most High always had their back. See, the divine is no longer allowing sneaky ass mofos around this individual. The divine is not allowing mofos who keep throwing rocks and hiding hands, who keep throwing crabs at this individual, and this individual has done nothing to them but pray for them. Have they made their mistakes in life? Yes. But no one has a right to judge another. That's the reason this individual could pray for these people. But the divine is saying, no longer will I allow you to pray. No longer will I allow you to carry these people's karma. The divine is giving this divine being the strength to go forward to their true empress. And these karmics trying to slow them down. But hey, they're not going to be slowed down. Why? because their ships are coming in, just about ready to dock. Why? Because this individual, y'all know it only go 20 minutes. But anyway, this individual had the strength to follow their intuition. This individual had a transformation and walked away and became the empress. They walked away and left all of those money growers, those that were reaping off of this this divine being, whether male or female, feminine or masculine energy. They were feeding and gaining wealth off of this individual and trying to keep this individual away from their divine counterpart. But that lover from the past is fading fast. Because these divine beings are no longer being allowed to pray for those who misuse. Now, we were all put here to be used, but we were not put here to be misused. What you may have, I may not have. So we work together. We are using each other's gifts together. With permission, we are being co-workers. We are combining our energies to have a certain outcome. Well, see, these karmics and stuff, these so-called family members, were working together doing the same thing against one individual. Because they did not want this, they did not desire, let's put that straight. They did not desire for this divine being to come into union with their divine counterpart. They worked on plans and everything. But see, while they were working on a plan, the divine was working on a plan too. Y'all can expect a call too. Sooner or later, that call coming in, confirmation. But all along, the divine and that divine counterpart was working on a plan. Just like the karmic was working on a plan too. Recruiting. Somebody really desiring to get in touch with y'all. Now I'm going to tell you like this. They going to call from one number. And then when you don't answer, they going to call from another number. Does it sound familiar? But anyway, this individual, this divine being, worked on themselves so that they could receive divine love. So that they would know how to work together with their divine being, their divine counterpart. They're working on their stability that the divine is giving them. But they also know that there's still some rats around. But remember, when this divine being went within and was grounded to the Most High, the divine had already shown them the snakes that were around. The snakes that are attracted to rats. What do snakes do when it comes to rats? They eat their ass, right? Yeah. Snakes are attracted to rats. Rats, what do? They eat up everything, ruin everything, infest everything, bring in dis-ease to everything. Did you catch that? Yeah. So the divine had already shown you who the snakes were, who the vipers were, that were going to come in and eat these rats. That were trying to infest your life, your gifts, your abundance. Getting the picture now. Now your divine counterpart, when they come in, I'm going to tell you like this. They going to bring a little page ass offer. And they going to be nervous and scared when they come in too. But nonetheless, it is your divine counterpart. But if you notice, you free. You see what I'm saying? You free. They know that they're still tied up. You see how this seahorse is tangled up? They are tangled up. So whatever they bring you right now, unless they come in honest with you, let it go, let it flow. Because you can't allow yourself to be conflicted within anymore. But I'm going to tell you, that mofo that they with, spying on you, sending the evil eye to you, waiting for a chance to strike at you. They waiting. Even though they've been sending witchcraft, they've been going to other people to do that. You know. But they waiting for a chance to come in and strike the final blow. But they won't be allowed to, because the more they sit back and they watch, the more you're going forward. Now they may delay. They may even try to get you tangled up in something. But I'm going to tell you like this. Oh, thank you, Devine. They ain't going to be able to betray you. And like I said, it's your divine counterpart. Your opposite. Yin and yang. Ain't they opposite? But when they learn to balance the scales, then they can come in and work with you. But see, you have a work to do. And a lot of you letting them go. Like we saw that lover's card a while ago. Lover from the past fade and fades. Because you know that you have a job to do. And no matter what, you're going to fulfill what you came here as a starseed, as a galactical being to do. You're going to have that happy home because you're standing on higher ground. So they can keep coming at you. All you're going to do is move forward. Why? Because you know alchemy. You know when to go forward, when to pull back. Because you are divinely guided. You are divinely protected. You are divinely led. And you are led by love because you are of love. No matter what, you know who you are, you know whose you are, and you know whom you are. You're a master manifester. That's the reason the divine allowed you to have a ending, so that you could bring upon, through the divine, a new beginning. And the karmic and your divine counterpart is all up in their head. Your divine counterpart is looking at that cup. But yet, now they are having to balance them scales. You know, that same stuff that they throwed out there on you because they allowed that karmic to bamboozle them, to talk them into doing some bullshit against you. But they had to learn. Because I'm going to tell y'all like this, and this is what y'all really need to comprehend. When you have a twin flame, some of you are awakened before the other one is. And they have to play catch up when it comes to you. So they got to go through a crash course, because they got to catch up. This ain't all fun and games out here. How can you expect them to be where you are? You sit here, oh God, give me my divine thing. And when the divine give it to you, and you see that you got to go through, not around, not over, you got to go through. You got to allow the divine to lead you through. Now when the divine see that your divine counterpart ain't gonna get it together, then it becomes forbidden unless that individual gets it together. But you brought in a tower and you dethroned your own self. You dethroned your own self when it came to that castle that you was building with them once. You walked away because you knew that you had to have self-love. You had to come out of that heartache and that pain. You had to come out of making a decision based on feelings and take that King of Swords stance and make a head over heart decision instead of constantly making that heart over head decision, because you were trying to spare them because you knew what was coming for them. See, that's what a twin flame would do. But sooner or later, the divine tells you, you are not allowed, you are forbidden to do this anymore. And that's where you guys are at. So you went and you planted seeds in your own garden, in your garden. And you gained. Y'all see all this green and gold? Was it easy? No. But to whom much is given, much is required. And a hell of a lot was required. Now you are having wish fulfillment. Now you are having victories in your life. Now you have learned how to alchemize. Y'all, you got to get to the point that you do not judge. Because when you judge, sometimes you will react when you should not. Well, y'all, this being out of sight, who are the snakes that the divine has shown you in your life? Who are the rats that the divine has shown you in your life? Because the snakes are now getting ready to devour the rats. You just steer clear. Alright, y'all. Much love. Hit like, share, subscribe, and we'll holler at you guys later.